welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Helene. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is part 2 of my Throne of Glass reading vlog. I am reading Heir of Fire right now. Grab a fun drink, come hang out with me. It's gonna be a good time. I think it's interesting so far that we're getting a lot of POVs and storylines, including a new one from a witch's perspective. I'm not totally sure how I feel about it yet, but I'll keep you updated as I go. If I was being so for real, I am having a lot of trouble getting into this book. It feels a bit slow to me. Manon's perspective, I really don't know who she is or why she's in this story. I like that we're getting a witch's perspective on things, but I have no emotional connection to her, and so I really am kind of stuck on the being into her character and storyline. I'm a bit worried about what Adrian is up to. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy. I'm glad though that we're still getting Dorian and Kale's perspective and what they're up to. It would be weird if we didn't and they just fell off the earth. I'm so sad that their friendship is not what it used to be though. I totally see Dorian and Sorsa becoming a thing. They seem totally cutesy with each other. My love for animals also really came out in one of the witch scenes, how they have the bait beasts for the Weirven. I started tearing up. I love animals so much, and to think that some of them are literally just for bait makes me so incredibly sad. Definitely did not help my apprehensiveness towards that storyline. The skinwalkers are terrifying. Being pieces of people's skin, like stitched together to make a creature, that would give me nightmares. I love Abraxos's love for flowers. I think that is so incredibly cute. It gives him such a cute little personality and it's awesome. Rowan is definitely growing on me now, especially after he found out about Selena being an Endovier. I feel like he changed his attitude a lot for the best. I really didn't like him in the beginning, but he is so much of a better character now. But that yellow legs witch whipping Abraxos made me so angry, so sad. I wanted to go in the book and whip her butt. I was so angry. Also, suddenly I blinked and Rowan and Selena are sharing a bed together. Not like intimately, but just like literally like sharing a bed. I thought they had different rooms. I must have missed something because that was a surprise to me. But yeah, overall this book is definitely picking up, getting more exciting. I like it a lot more. That first half though was really hard to get through. The last third of this book went crazy. I really liked it. That being said, majority of the book, I was not living and loving. I felt like it was so slow. I don't know why it would be a me problem, but let's just say it's a me problem. There were parts that were just really hard to get through. The end was great. The end was so great. I gotta give her props for that. It's interesting too because there's nothing I can pick out in the book that I felt like could have been removed either. Maybe just sped up a little bit. I did feel though that every single thing that happened in this book had meaning, had a purpose, should have been there, no doubt about it. The massacre of all the slaves in the mine devastated me, and then the fact that not even a day after they were talking about how they were gonna replace them, so incredibly sad. I'm not surprised that Selena and Rowan are the Karanam, like the bond that they have between each other. Felt like I saw that coming. Selena even said so. Still super cute though, and I love that she ended up fighting for his freedom for him. It's so stiff, so like trying to read this was terrible. That brought down the reading experience, but that does not go towards my rating. There were so many amazing fantasy elements in this story, and Selena's self-growth in this book was phenomenal. Really appreciated that. Even though it felt slow at times, I felt overall it is really impactful to the series as a whole, so I'm gonna give her a 4. The experience I had in the beginnings of this book were not straying me away from the story at all. I wasn't super immersed in it. I was aware I was reading, but I was still having a good time. Next though, we will be going into Assassin's Blade. This is the prequel to the entire series. I'm excited. I think it'll be good. Sam initially gave me really icky vibes, but since finishing the first short story, I like him a lot better now. The horse stealing scene was so good. I absolutely loved it. It was so fun and exciting and cool. I loved it. I think it's cool that we are getting a bunch of short stories in her life, and I like how all of these short stories we slowly learn more about her as a human being, on top of the fact that they are really entertaining and exciting storylines. I have a feeling that the short stories will lead up to her time in Dovier and how she ended up there in the first place. I had a feeling that Ansel was the spy, and I'm so disappointed in her. I really liked her as a character. That was so sad. It really disappointed me. Lysandra seems incredibly annoying so far. I hope she doesn't stick around forever. So punchable. But yeah, things are going well so far. I'm really enjoying it. totally forgot to mention this previously, but I loved how Selena gave that money to the healer so that way she could start a new life and not be stuck working at that pub. I thought that was so sweet that she did that and taught her how to fight. That was really cool. I thought it was also really nice that Sam got Selena those music sheets. Love a good sharing of the hobbies thing going on there. I love it. I thought for a bit that Arabin actually redeemed himself considering everything that happened, but the fact that he spent all of Selena's money that set her free on Lysandra was such a punch to the gut. Not okay. That made me so angry for her. He knew what he was doing when he was doing that. And the whole tricking her thing, not okay, not cool. I'm so happy that Selena actually ended up throwing the dagger at Lysandra's head and freaking her out. She finally got what was coming for her. I'm becoming a lot more connected to Selena, and I have such more love and appreciation for her as a character. I think she's so cool. I think her story is awesome, and her character development is insane. Although I knew how the story was going to end, I still found it so heartbreaking. It was so sad. I feel so incredibly sad for Selena. The cards she was handed were awful. This book definitely solidified my if not love, for this series as a whole. I feel like Selena's character development was awesome. I love her so much more as a character. It's interesting because I knew how the book was going to end, considering I read the first 3 books already, but I don't think it took away from the story at all. In fact, I think it actually made it better that I didn't read this one first. I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much if this was my intro to the Throne of Glass series. I think I was able to enjoy it as much as I did because I already had a little bit of a foundation. But for those people who are a fan of the chronological order, I would definitely recommend reading this one first, as it is a prequel, so that would make sense. Since Heir of Fire was a little bit of a struggle, this is exactly what I needed to get right back into the series, have a little reset, remind myself of the things that I really enjoy about this series. So yeah, unless you are a fan of chronological order, I would definitely recommend reading Assassin's Blade after Heir of Fire. I think that is such a good move. I would give this a 4.75. The only reason why I wouldn't give this a 5 is because, as I suspected, it did ultimately end up being 5 short stories from Selena's life that led her to Endovir. I think if I didn't fully know how the book was gonna end, I would have been on the edge of my seat a little bit more throughout, but because because I knew generally how it ended, I wasn't super stressed or scared as I usually would in typical fantasy books. Still really liked this, really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Honestly, if you don't want to commit to the full series as well, just read this one. It was good. I liked it, and the stories were really entertaining. But yeah, it was so incredibly enjoyable. The final book that is in this video is going to be Queen of Shadows. It is a thick one. I've already given it a little peek. Left off basically right where Air Fire did. I will keep you updated with everything. Something I don't understand is why Kale thought that Aelin was going to come back with an entire army. Like, yes, she is powerful, but what? Sir, why are we thinking like that? And then him blaming her for what's going on. Like, she's not the sole human being making all of this happen. Not everything is her fault. Why are we blaming? The Manon and Keltane crossover, I was not expecting at all. So curious with how it's gonna go. Little bit nervous as well, but it should be good. The rescue mission for Adian was also so cool, so good, so creative. I loved it. Overall, I'm liking the witch's storyline a lot better. I'm into it a lot more now, especially with Elid's presence. Abraxos is still as cute as ever, and I love that in the vault, Aelin had made her fighter name Ansel after her late friend who ended up betraying her. Elide becoming a Black Peak is the most fun thing ever. I am so happy for her, and I'm so excited that Rowan is back, even though it is for not good news. The yellow legs going through those experiments makes me so sad. Kale so needs to chill on blaming Aelin for everything. It's not her fault. Some things are her fault, but not everything. And he's obsessed with blaming her for absolutely everything, and I will not stand for that. It is irritating. Aelin's plan, though, to manipulate Arabin was genius. She's just so smart and so cool. I am obsessed with her. Elide continues to be an absolute icon. I am loving her. I'm so glad she is in on the whole journey with the witches and trying to figure out all of their things. Dorian flirting with Manon though. Could not have seen that coming at all. He showed a bit of humanity too, which was really cool. It makes me really sad that we get some hints into Dorian's perspective as someone who is under the influence of the king. I feel so bad for him. The Fleetfoot and Aelin reunion was also so cutesy. Astrid's story made me so sad. I want to just give her the biggest hug in the whole world. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading and I'll be finishing up real soon. And we're done. So the last bit of the book was absolutely insane. So much happened. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Definitely my favorite book in the series. 5 stars. I'm so happy that Lysandra became such a bestie for Aelin and they even rescued her after being captured. The way everybody joined together to destroy the tower that would bring back magic was so cool, and I'm so glad Dorian's okay. Manon's message to Aelin was so cool. I like her so much more now. I just realized I've been holding this upside down like the entire time. It was really well written too. I could tell that Sarah J Maas is really coming into her writing style, especially those last 100 pages. So much happens, and I noticed that in ACOTAR a lot. I ate this whole thing up. So many annotations. I had so much fun reading this book. She held a special place in my heart now. Really curious with how the rest of the series is gonna go. The next book I'm reading is actually the tandem read, which I'm super excited for. I'm kind of nervous because I don't want to mess it up, but people have said it's super worth it to do the tandem read, and so that will be in this next video. That is the conclusion to part 2 of my Throne of Glass reading vlog. Thank you so much again for stopping by, and I will see you next time.